On Talking Business, Anushan Selvarajah speaks with the founder and president of the Confederation of Micro, Small and Medium Industries and the national director of the United Nations Industrial Development Programme, Nawaz Rajabdeen, to find out what's in store for the MSMEs.
Welcome to the show, Nawaz. Good to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
To start off with, tell us a little bit about COSME, or the Confederation for Micro, Small and Medium Industries.
COSME was formed last year, and we found that micro and small sector, even before the COVID epidemic, MSME was doing not well. Because, over last decade, industrial sector was not addressed. So as a result, the micro and small sector was going backwards. And, we found from 2019, after the disaster, we found most of the micro and small sector was finding extremely difficult. Even though at that time we never had any financial support or plans, but 40% of the micro and small sector was going bankrupt, more or less. So we decided, there are many chambers in this country, and we decided a group of 10 members, past presidents of chambers and commerce and industrial sector, form this micro and small enterprises, Confederation of Micro and Small Enterprises. And we are all working on an honorary capacity to revive and restructure the micro and small sector in the country. What is important today, we don't have an industrial policy, and we also don't have a up-to-date data bank of industries. So there are 25 districts in the country, and we thought we will team up with the district chambers, regional chambers, trade association, industrial association to form an umbrella group, and let COSME will be the voice of this sector.
So what was the impact of this pandemic on the MSME sector?
We took COVID epidemic as a challenge. And we thought we will take this as a challenge to develop and restructure our industrial institution. And this, you can see, most of the places are closed. We have actually, there are more than 300,000 people found new areas for, they started supplying food and vegetable and groceries through delivering to the house. So now people who cannot go into the supermarkets, and the new group of people have come. Now, for example, even the restaurants were closed. So many people are unemployed. They were unable even to pay the rental. They also started a project. So COVID is an opportunity to revive and restructure these places. But in the outskirts, like the districts level, I don't think micro and small sectors can survive, because one thing is their productivity has lost. They lost their productivity. They don't have a backward linkages. Their distribution center is gone. So now we thought government is also come forward to support them. But how many people in the districts are eligible for this, and how many people know the awareness of this project? How much money government is giving?
Now, Nawaz, there was a delay in doling out the Saubhagya relief that the government had proposed. Did you see the chambers getting together, working together to try and push this through?
You must understand, individually you will not be able to do anything. When you have the district and regional chambers together, even if we have to fund, and we are now in the process of discussing with few donor countries, most of the district industries in the districts are not doing very well, because especially the agro-based industries. So we thought we will form this group and see how best we could support. We will be the voice of the regional and district MSMEs. Government alone cannot do this project, because we can't depend only on the government or the political leaders in these districts, but they have a different agenda altogether. We must know how many people are receiving this, because it's very strange. We are only the few people who are involved, who are successful in getting these funds. That is why we have to go to the region. Regional chambers must play a positive role in identifying these products. In Colombo, we can identify the regional chambers know, because we will give them opportunity to become members free of charge, so that our advisory board is there. We can go forward to the bank, and on behalf of these chambers, on behalf of this micro and small sector, we can discuss with the bank, and I'm sure we can be able to fund them through the bank.
Now, Nawaz, for a long time, the MSME sector has been touted as being the backbone of our economy by business leaders and politicians alike. And yes, it does employ about 90% of our population. But year and year again, Nawaz, there is always complaints coming forward that there is not enough being done, or there is nothing being done for the MSME sector. Why do you think this is?
Because, we had to blame the political authority also in this, because I don't think any leading politician in their district are supportive of this MSMEs, because they are more interested in retaining their position in the party or the government. So tell me anybody who has come forward in the political sector to revive MSME? Nobody, to my knowledge. And I'm sure the president is aware of this, and the president is now coming forward to support them. I think public sector alone cannot do this. It is very difficult. The private-public partnership is very important to revive and restructure this industry.
We're going for a short break now. We'll be right back after this.
Let's have another look at this one. The Sri Lankans are giving the Aussies a real hiding.
It takes guts to be Sri Lankan, and leaps of faith, a mighty stash and hope and heart. It takes hella hot to be Sri Lankan. We take loud and proud and quiet and kind and smart, and trying to be too smart. It takes a temple to be Sri Lankan, and a church and a mosque and a koval and a shrine and a smile. It takes a warmonger, a peacemaker, a mother, a martyr. It takes an alma mater. It takes kahata, an adiya, a chant, a tune, and a galkul to be Sri Lankan. It takes a mighty girl to be Sri Lankan. It takes a village and a bridge and a school and a vega and an ultra laksa and some major lakka. It takes Ceylon to be Sri Lankan. It takes the south to be Sri Lankan. It takes the north to be Sri Lankan. It takes the east and the west and everything in the middle to be Sri Lankan. It takes love to be Sri Lankan. It takes a crisis to become more Sri Lankan than you ever thought. It takes giving it a shot. Let's give it everything we've got.
Welcome back to the show as we continue our focus on the MSME sector with the founder and president of the Confederation of Micro, Small and Medium Industries, Nawaz Rajabdeen. Now let's take Cosme. Nawaz, what is Cosme doing for the sector right now?
We are now currently discussing with some of these institutions for distribution of their product. You must have, these companies, these are micro sector, if they manufacture, they will not be able to survive without marketing it. The backward linkage is important. So we, if you see in the past last 3 months, lots of products that are manufactured are in the social media. How they are trying to market this. I think government should come forward to identify all those micro and small sectors product, and at least twice a year they should have a showcase for them in one of the industrial sector, so that people from the north, they can buy from the south, people who manufacture from the south, they can come for the central province. So we did a similar showcasing of product from various sector, various north central province, north eastern province, and we had a show and it was very successful. So now I think the government has come forward to move control the imports, industrial product, and see how best can locally manufactured can exist. We are importing shoelace, shoe polish, shoe brush. Everything is imported to this country. So if the government doesn't come forward to support this micro and small sector, and give not that you ban them, but you give them with overall covering taxes, these people won't start. If they control this product that are coming and flooding in the market, I'm sure the micro and small sector will survive, and I'm sure they will have a better deal for their product.
Moving on, Nawaz, now with this pandemic, we found out that a lot of companies, a lot of small or larger companies also, they were not prepared. They did not have the reserves to tide over this period. In that light, what do you think that the MSME sector needs to do? What sort of contingency plans do you think that they need to have for the next disaster or to mitigate the effects of the next disaster?
No, but since the micro sector is very large, it is the big companies also should play an important role supporting them. So in India, the micro and small sectors are supported by the large industry because they have a subcontracting partnership, so that they don't manufacture everything that they want, or they don't even import them. So they use this micro sector for product supply. So that means the micro sector start manufacturing small equipment, small units, and they are sure they don't have to go for marketing because there is a large industry supporting them, buying back their product. So that will be one. Now, we have to now see how best we could survive. COVID-19 has come. We had a disaster in 2019 that slowed down the industry, that slowed down the tourism. Then they started moving. This COVID-19 has come, and now this is very long, 3 to 4 months lockdown. People are frightened to go out and start. So most of the people have started to work from home. Large number of companies has closed down today. They feel it's not worth spending so much of money to run the office. They're all working from home, so that the amount of money that they are spending, that can be distributed in an even way. So we are prepared. I think government should take, there is a disaster management industry, the ministry, they should formulate and they should contact all the regional and district chambers for a meeting, and they should come forward with their plans. Because the Minister of Disaster Management plays an important role during the floods, during COVID-19. So I think the private, public sector should be more involved in these things rather than taking a back seat.
Nawaz, how do you view the business climate for the MSME sector over the next year or so?
I think I am very positive. They will bounce back faster, because now we have just gone through, there will be a supply and demand anyway. Another few months' time, there will be a supply and demand. And if you take it, any disaster to any country for a natural disaster or man-made disaster, and even if they stop for 3 months, 4 months, but they bounce back faster. We take as tsunami as one example, how we bounce back within the year, we bounce back. We also took the 2019 disaster we had. We were locked down again, indirectly for 3-4 months. We bounced back faster. Tourism came back. And I'm sure with the control of this virus in this country, and we must be very proud and happy. The Sri Lanka played a very important role in controlling this virus infection of COVID-19 comparatively to other countries. And I'm sure we will be able to bounce back. And by early next year, and we will be able to see you can see how best that these people will come forward.
Finally, now, Nawaz, you've been in this sector for a long time. You worked for them, you worked with them. You've been through or seen a number of periods of uncertainty. So what would be your advice to the players in the MSME sector on what they should be doing right now?
MSMEs at this stage must get together and see how best they could revive. And COSME will play a very positive role in identifying the product and product range. And we will also see how best we could market it in various institutions. Now, for example, there are handicrafts section. There are more than 300 people are in the handicraft section in the micro sector. They make out of wood, paper, and whatever, especially seashells. So they are down. They can't market it because they were mainly depending on tourism. We must have a display. So we must have a showcasing their product. Otherwise, you can't manufacture in one district and expect people to come there. So we have to play a very positive role marketing their product, and I'm sure they will be able to help it. We don't charge them, but the government should come forward to support this rather than spending large amount of money on unnecessary expenses. They should come forward to support the MSMEs, and so that they will not have any problem.
Well, that's all the time we have, Nawaz. Thank you so much for joining us. It was a great pleasure.
Thank you very much, Nakeem.
After a short break, Andrea Melisa will be back with a roundup of global news. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Andrea Melisa. Let's take a look at a roundup of global news. With the United States having recorded the highest daily jump in coronavirus cases last week, which amounted to over 77,000 cases in one day, the deadly pandemic is not the only thing that the country is battling. Systemic racism in the US has been a buzzing topic of discussion, especially since the murder of George Floyd by a policeman in Minneapolis. Yet, the inequalities that African Americans face go deeper than interactions with police, to include discrimination in employment, housing, healthcare, politics, and education, among other issues, cascading to a point where even the virus seems to be discriminating against them, as not only are they bearing a disproportionate share of fatalities, but they are also overrepresented in unemployment numbers. Moving on to the crisis in Latin America, Brazil has become the pandemic's new epicenter, being the country most affected by coronavirus after the US. Infections continue to rise in Latin America's slums, where even the most basic hand washing and physical distancing precautions cannot be met. Limited sanitation, loss of livelihoods, and the government's slow response to the crisis are forcing slum residents to choose between starving or dying from the virus, according to an economist at the Federal University of Rio de Janeiro. On the contrary, the gleaming city of Dubai has been testing its scientific and technological prowess in the face of the pandemic. The COVID-19 Command and Control Center, which was established at the start of the crisis, has enabled the emirate to promptly react and make quick decisions based on data and science. From smart police helmets that take the temperature of passers-by, to smart labs that produce protective masks using 3D printers, and apps that track people infected with the virus or those who may have come in contact with confirmed cases, the Command and Control Center is playing a significant role in helping manage the pandemic by coordinating the efforts of Dubai's doctors, epidemiologists, and other professionals. Although the COVID-19 pandemic has stolen the limelight in 2020, the global battle against climate change remains a struggle. And while several geoengineering projects have been introduced to mitigate the adverse effects of global warming, a coalition of nearly 200 environmental groups claims that these techno-fixes could imperil Earth's already vulnerable ecosystems. The Hands Off Mother Earth, or HOME campaign, is urging governments and communities to oppose geoengineering projects, claiming that they not only violate international moratoriums, but also divert attention from emissions reductions, which is the underlying cause of climate change. And last but not least, the Corona generation. The coronavirus has struck at what is considered a formative time for post-millennials or Generation Z, but they have found their own ways to help others in this time of need through their art, technical know-how, and social networking skills. From low-cost drones that beat travel restrictions to deliver medicines and test results across the city of Barranquilla in Colombia, to a bicycle equipped with a hand sanitizer dispenser and a loudspeaker disseminating preventive information in Senegal, Gen Z is devising innovative ways to help communities across the globe. So will Gen Z become the coronavirus generation? Only time will tell. That's all we have for you this week. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook. Thank you for watching LMDtv. Stay safe.